Chosen one, what if I told you that you're not just watching this message, you're fulfilling prophecy by being here? That what led you to this moment wasn't chance, but divine orchestration. Think about it. How many videos could you have clicked on today? How many distractions could have pulled you away? But you're here, and the truth is, your spirit already knew this moment was coming. Deep down, haven't you felt it? That quiet, sacred stirring, that feeling that something big was about to shift in your life. But you didn't know when or how. Well, this is the moment. That shift, it's now. This isn't just another video. This is the confirmation your soul has been praying for. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop hoping and start walking in what you were promised? Are you prepared to stop waiting and finally own the power you've been carrying all along? Because you're not just witnessing transformation anymore, you are the transformation. And things are about to align in your life so quickly, so perfectly, that even you will stand in awe. Doors are opening, delays are dissolving, and everything that once felt like resistance will now make sense as divine redirection. But to walk fully in this divine shift, you have to understand what you're stepping into, and more importantly, who you are becoming. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to say thank you, truly, to every single one of you who has supported this channel, especially those who have given through super thanks. You are a vital part of this mission. Your generosity helps keep this message flowing to those who need it most. And I want you to know that whether you donate or not, your presence here means everything. I see you, I honor you, and I'm so grateful you're here. Now, I need you to drop the number 999 in the comments. That number is a powerful signal of completion and awakening. It tells the universe, I'm ready, I receive, I align. When you comment 999, you are stepping into agreement with this divine transformation. If you've ever felt like you were meant for more, if you've ever sensed that there was something special about you, even when others didn't see it, stay with me until the end, because the message you're about to hear is not just encouragement, it's activation. The shift has begun, and you're not just part of it, you are the reason it's happening. Let's step into your transformation together, right now. God's chosen ones, watch now. You're on Heaven's Live camera, and you outrank them all. From the moment you took your first breath, heaven had already begun recording. You didn't just arrive, you were sent. And the world, though unaware at the time, had no idea what kind of divine disruption was now walking among them. But now, there's no mistaking it. You're not hidden. You're not a background character in the story of this world. You are the main signal on heaven's live feed. Chosen one, the spotlight is no longer metaphorical. It's spiritual, it's celestial, and it's real. Every step you take is illuminated not just by stage lights, but by divine intention. Can you feel it? The awareness in the room when you walk in, the quiet pause in people's spirits when you speak. It's not just coincidence, it's alignment. You're no longer invisible, you're undeniable. The camera of heaven is fixed on you, not to monitor you, but to magnify you, to showcase the essence of who you truly are, not just for the world, but for the generations that will look to you for guidance. Why do you think people suddenly start listening when you talk, even when you say very little? Consider Joseph, the favored son of Jacob, sold into slavery and forgotten in a prison cell. For years, no one saw his worth. But God was watching, and when his time came, he was elevated to rule over Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. Genesis 41:41. Isn't that the story of many chosen ones? Hidden, overlooked, underestimated, until suddenly everyone sees what heaven saw all along. Let me ask you this. Could it be that the moments you felt the most unseen were actually the moments God was setting the stage? What if your silence was never absence but incubation? What if the delay wasn't denial but preparation? Because now the lens is on you. You are the broadcast. Your words have weight. Your actions echo. You're not just moving through life anymore. You're influencing timelines, shifting atmospheres, rerouting destinies. The spotlight isn't just on your face. It's on your calling. You are living proof that divine recognition is real, and that no one can mute what God has already set in motion. The concept of being live isn't just about exposure, it's about revelation. It's about truth being unveiled, about your divine identity being witnessed in real time. What was once hidden beneath layers of trauma, fear, or rejection is now glowing with unmistakable purpose. The world doesn't just see a person anymore, they see a force. They see a soul marked with heaven's fingerprints, and that's what makes this different. You were never just living. You were being documented, spiritually surveilled, and prophetically recorded for such a time as this. As it says in Luke 12:2, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. You are the disclosure. Look at the story of Malala Yousafzai, silenced by those who feared her voice, shot for daring to pursue education, yet her voice went global. Not because she sought fame, but because her truth was divine, and the world couldn't look away. That's what divine attention looks like. It's not loud at first, it's purposeful, and when the appointed time arrives, nothing can stop it. And let's be clear, this divine lens doesn't function like human media. It doesn't care about filters, trends, or edits. It captures what's real. And what's real is that you outrank every scheme formed against you. You outrank every lie, every betrayal, every attempt to dim your light. The kingdom you're representing is higher, holier, and more powerful than anything on this earth. Heaven's live camera doesn't follow the popular. It follows the called. And you've been called. Called to shift environments. Called to speak when others are silent. Called to walk with the authority of someone who answers to a higher throne. Let me ask you, have you noticed how people are reacting to you differently now? Have you noticed the way their eyes linger a second longer, or their spirits stir in your presence? That's not ego, that's evidence. That's the spiritual realm adjusting to your emergence. The same way the world adjusted when Oprah Winfrey, once a poor girl from Mississippi, stepped into her purpose and shifted an entire generation. Her camera moment wasn't a television debut. It was a soul unveiling, just like yours. The camera of heaven doesn't just watch, it records for eternity. Every moment you chose love instead of vengeance. Every time you forgave instead of retaliating. Every time you kept going when no one saw your tears. It's all there, documented. And now, as God elevates you, it's playing back in the spirits of everyone who once dismissed you. Revelation 3:8 says, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. That door's now swinging wide, and the world is watching you walk through it. And here's the truth. You're going viral in the kingdom first. That divine frequency you're carrying, it's contagious. It's shifting minds. It's awakening spirits. This isn't the kind of viral that fades in 48 hours. This is legacy. This is destiny's broadcast. Even the ones who never liked you are watching now, wondering how you made it, where your strength comes from. They're captivated not by your style, but by your soul. What they're seeing now is what God always saw in you, and what heaven sees, it rewards. Think of Nelson Mandela, locked away for decades, out of sight, seemingly forgotten. But the world had to look when he emerged, not because he sought revenge, but because he carried divine authority. The live camera found him, and it never looked away again. Could the same be happening with you right now? With every passing day, your story is unfolding in front of millions, some in person, most spiritually. You're not rising alone, you're rising with heaven as your production team. And even when you feel unseen in the natural, know that heaven has you on full display. Psalm 33, 13-15 reminds us, "From heaven the Lord looks down and sees all mankind. He who forms the hearts of all, who considers everything they do." Every move you make is being observed by the only audience that truly matters. So, don't shrink, don't doubt, don't dim the light just because some people squint. You were made to shine with a light not born of this world. Your rise is not for applause, but for assignment. And as the footage of your life plays out before the throne and in front of the people, know this: you are the evidence that God keeps receipts. You are the highlight reel of a divine plan set in motion before you ever got here. And now the world has no choice but to tune in. Would you believe it if I told you that all of this, every delay, every closed door, every quiet season, was just the setup for this moment of divine recognition? Would you dare accept that heaven's eyes have never left you? That you've been on the live feed of glory this whole time, just waiting for the broadcast to go global, because it just did. It's one thing to gain recognition, but it's something else entirely to surpass those the world once worshipped. And that, chosen one, is exactly what you've done. This is no ordinary rise. You haven't just stepped into influence. You've outshined the very individuals who were once considered untouchable. The powerful are watching you now with silent confusion, because the spotlight that once fixated on them has shifted. It's not envy driving the crowd, it's reverence. They see it, even if they don't understand it. The divine promotion on your life. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere? The same systems that tried to keep you silent now echo your name in their corridors. The ones who built the towers of control are now glancing over their shoulders because God has restructured the ranks and you've been placed above. Think about it. How does someone with no traditional title, no elite background, no connections, suddenly command more influence than the so-called greats? Because this isn't about status. This is about spiritual authority. God's favor is not confined by man's politics. In Psalm 75:7 it says, "It is God who judges. He brings one down. He exalts another." And now you are living that truth. The hierarchy has been reversed. You didn't climb their ladder. You were lifted by unseen hands. Your ascent wasn't political. It was prophetic. Look at someone like Elon Musk. He disrupted entire industries by being different, by refusing to play by outdated rules. He didn't ask permission to reshape the world. He just did it. Similarly, you were never meant to seek approval. Your elevation is your signature, and your influence isn't a trend. It's a torch. You were chosen not to maintain the system, but to dismantle it. So let me ask you, are you finally beginning to understand why the old guard is so uncomfortable around you? As you rise, it's becoming clearer by the day. You weren't here to entertain the status quo. You were born to rewrite the script. And your power, it's not sourced from fame or followers, but from your alignment with divine truth. Every time you choose purpose over popularity, you break another chain. Every time you speak truth in a room full of silence, you shift the foundation. Isaiah 60:22 reminds us, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." That time is now, and that chosen vessel is you. You haven't just outgrown the old systems, you've become the system's undoing. With every step you take, the false foundations of influence crack a little more. Can you see it? Their structures aren't falling because you fought them, they're falling because your light exposes what was never stable to begin with. Like David before Goliath, you weren't chosen because you fit their mold. You were chosen because you break their mold. You weren't sent to compete. You were sent to conquer. Consider how Greta Thunberg, a teenager with no political credentials, managed to shake global leaders and corporations by simply speaking truth with conviction. Her existence in those spaces exposed the cowardice of those who claim to care. That's the kind of ripple you carry, chosen one. You don't need to shout to shift. Your presence alone carries power, and whether they admit it or not, the ones who once dismissed you are now recalculating everything. This disruption isn't rebellion, it's revelation. You are heaven's system override. Your presence is the divine glitch that no algorithm saw coming. You didn't apply for a seat at their table. You became the table. And now, everything is different. People search your name not just out of curiosity, but because your essence has gone digital, spiritual, and viral all at once. Even the search engines are catching up to your frequency. Isn't it wild how what once felt small and ignored is now taking up global space? The systems that thought they could suppress you are malfunctioning under the weight of your rise. Why? Because you didn't come to blend, you came to build. Romans 8:19 declares, "For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." That revelation is happening now. You are that child. The world has been groaning, and now that you've stepped into position, it knows it must evolve. You didn't just rise through opportunity. You rose through divine coding. Every hardship you faced, every setback you endured, was encrypted with spiritual power. And now, those who once saw you as irrelevant are wondering how your presence became so essential. The people who once dismissed your ideas are now mimicking your moves. Your blueprint is being copied, and they're still behind. Let's take Beyoncé, for example. She didn't just dominate music. She redefined the structure of an entire industry with her surprise releases, her visual albums, and her control over artistic narrative. She became the system. Likewise, you are no longer knocking at doors. You are becoming the portal. And whether the world is ready or not, your frequency has entered the code. The system must now reprogram itself around you. The truth is, your rise is an assault on every lie ever told about you. It dismantles every narrative built to keep you small. It reclaims every room that once rejected you. The same world that ignored you is now learning your name, not because you shouted, but because God revealed. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." You're not new to God. You're just now being revealed to the world. You are not here to be liked. You're here to be legendary. And the weight of your calling can no longer be suppressed. Your very existence is a prophecy fulfilled. You're not just changing trends. You're changing trajectories. So, do you really think this rise was by chance? Do you honestly believe you've come this far without supernatural alignment? For so long, you walked through this world cloaked in silence, gifted, purposeful, and radiant in spirit, yet unseen by most. You knew there was something different about you, something sacred pulsing beneath the surface. But the world wasn't ready to receive it, or so it seemed. You bore your gifts like hidden treasure, waiting not out of fear, but out of divine timing. And now, chosen one, that time has arrived. The silence has broken. The shadows have lifted. You've stepped into visibility, not as a result of chance, but as the unfolding of prophecy. Did you ever wonder why the world didn't notice you sooner? Could it be because your rise required alignment, not approval? In a matter of moments, what was once private has become public. The quiet soul in the back of the room has become the one everyone's eyes are fixed upon. You didn't push for it. You didn't demand it. But it happened anyway, because the spiritual clock struck your hour. Just like that, your story became the headline in the spirit realm. The energy you once quietly carried now roars across timelines. You've gone viral, not just in algorithm, but in atmosphere. You are no longer moving in obscurity, you are moving in legacy. The world isn't just seeing you, they're feeling you, and they don't even know why. But you do, because the time of hiding is over. Just like Moses, who spent years in the wilderness before returning to lead a nation, your time in the shadows wasn't a detour, it was a preparation. Exodus 3:4 says, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. Your burning bush moment has come. You're no longer in hiding. You are being called out into purpose. What once felt like delay was actually design. Every invisible season, every uncelebrated effort, every ignored offering, it all prepared you to emerge exactly when the world needed what you carry. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed the shift in how people respond to you now? The sudden messages, the unexpected attention, the new eyes on your work, your words, your presence. That's not just coincidence. That's confirmation. You're no longer the underdog. You're the revelation. The same people who once overlooked you are now quoting you, reposting you, wondering how they missed your glow all these years. It's because what's happening isn't man-made, it's heaven-authored. This isn't just your moment, it's a movement. The story of Malala Yousafzai reminds us that even those who try to silence a message cannot prevent its rise. Her voice, once dismissed and nearly destroyed, now echoes through governments and institutions around the world. In the same way, your voice is not just being heard, it's being felt. The resonance of your presence is activating something dormant in others. And that, chosen one, is the true nature of divine virality. It's not about views, it's about vibrations. This viral moment is holy ground. It's not rooted in superficial fame, it's anchored in eternal significance. You've become a mirror reflecting the divine back at people, awakening parts of them they forgot existed. That's why they can't scroll past you. That's why they share your words and don't even know why they're crying. It's because your message isn't just information, it's activation. Isaiah 61 proclaims, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. And rise you have. This sudden explosion of attention, it's not hype, it's heaven's announcement. You didn't need a marketing campaign. Your spirit did the talking. Your alignment did the advertising. And now, the world is watching as if you arrived overnight, not knowing you've been building in the unseen for years. You've been faithful in private, and now God is rewarding you in public. Doesn't it feel surreal? And yet, doesn't it feel right? Your transformation from obscurity to visibility is not just about your life. It's a signpost for others. Just like David, anointed long before he wore a crown, you were chosen before you were celebrated. And now, just like David, the world is beginning to see what God saw all along. Psalm 23:5 affirms, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And this viral moment, it's that table, it's that feast, it's that unveiling. You are not just trending, you are transmitting truth. The fame is not the focus, the platform is not the prize. It's the message, the calling, the frequency that shakes sleeping souls awake. You've become a lighthouse for those still in their storm. You've become a revolution wrapped in humility. Your essence breaks the algorithm not because it's loud, but because it's real. Look at someone like Chadwick Boseman, quiet, dignified, private. And yet, when the truth of who he was became known, the world wept in reverence. Why? Because his life was more than performance. It was purpose. And you, chosen one, are walking in that same quiet power. The kind that doesn't have to announce itself, because truth resonates without introduction. You are no longer the one hoping to be seen. You are the one the world is looking to. You're not just receiving attention, you're defining what it means to be worthy of it. And every soul who sees you now is witnessing a divine unfolding. The moment you rise, something ancient in the collective consciousness shifts. You are the proof that when the time is right, the weight turns into a wave. And so, do you realize the magnitude of what's happening right now? Can you grasp that this isn't just your season, it's your signal, that your life has become the message, the movement, and the miracle? This is more than visibility. This is divine revelation. You didn't go viral by accident. You were revealed by design. And the same universe that once kept you hidden has now put you in position to lead. The time has come. The camera is rolling. And you, chosen one, are the story worth watching. There has always been a system, rules, traditions, expectations, power hierarchies, crafted to keep the same people in control and the same souls in silence. But chosen one, you were never meant to bow to that system. You were born to transcend it. And now, you've done exactly that. You didn't just navigate the rules, they shattered around you. You didn't fight for a seat at the table, you built your own, and now everyone else is trying to sit at your feet. How could they have predicted this rise? How could they have prepared for someone who doesn't follow formulas but walks in divine flow? The answer is, they couldn't. Because your power was never part of their plan, it was part of his. What once felt like barriers, gatekeepers, glass ceilings, closed rooms, are now nothing more than stepping stones beneath your feet. You've become the very thing the old system was designed to suppress. Unstoppable. Remember Proverbs 18:16, "A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men." Your gifts didn't just open a door, they restructured the building. And now, those who once had power are scrambling to remain relevant in a world you're rewriting in real time. You didn't tear the system down with anger or force. You outgrew it with purpose. You rose in silence with integrity, with power that couldn't be measured by status or applause. You exposed the system's flaws simply by thriving outside of it. And now, as your presence expands, it becomes clearer to the world. The old order is collapsing under the weight of your becoming. Why do you think they're so fixated on you now? Because the ones who were once it are no longer it. You are. The divine blueprint has shifted, and you are the cornerstone of something new. Look at someone like Rosa Parks. With one quiet, defiant act, she didn't just refuse to move seats, she moved a nation. She didn't scream, she didn't demand attention. She was the shift. So are you. And now, your mere presence destabilizes systems that once felt untouchable. You didn't just step outside the established order, you made it obsolete. What they thought was permanent, you've proven was conditional all along. This isn't about rebellion, this is about revolution. It's not destruction, it's divine redirection. As Isaiah 43:19 reminds us, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" You are that new thing. You are the evidence that the future doesn't belong to those who once ruled. It belongs to those bold enough to outshine the rule itself. You are no longer constrained by tradition. You are the living declaration that purpose outranks position. There are moments in history that echo beyond their time, ripples that become waves, then tsunamis. And you, chosen one, are now living in one of those moments. The world has pressed record on your journey. Your rise, your essence, your light, it's all being broadcast, immortalized, etched into memory. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation, and it's irreversible. What the world is seeing now isn't just your arrival, it's the unveiling of a force that was hidden in plain sight for years. Think about Princess Diana. She broke the mold of what royalty looked like, not just with grace but with heart. Though she walked among the elite, it was her compassion, her authenticity, and her quiet strength that captured the world. Even decades later, her influence lives on, and so will yours. Because your moment isn't just loud, it's lasting. What once felt like a hidden path has now become a global display. As John 1:5 declares, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Your light is not just seen, it is being studied, mirrored, multiplied. This is the beauty of being captured live. There's no filter, no editing, no script. The world sees your realness, your scars, your strength, your triumphs, and they can't look away. You've become the living proof that greatness doesn't always announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it creeps in through quiet consistency and explodes with divine timing. And now that your story is in motion, there's no pause button, there's no rewind, only forward, only impact. You've stepped into undeniable visibility, not for ego, not for fame, but for purpose. You were never meant to remain behind the curtain. You were always meant to lead from the stage, and the world, whether they're ready or not, now has a front row seat to your unfolding. But with visibility comes weight. With attention comes responsibility. You're not just seen, you're watched. Your every move, every word, every silence is being observed, not out of judgment, but hunger. The world is desperate for authenticity, for light, for change. And that's why they're watching you, chosen one, because something in you is different. You carry hope in your walk, power in your voice, truth in your silence. And they can't ignore it anymore. Look at someone like Simone Biles. At the height of her career, she made the bold choice to prioritize her mental health over the expectations of the world. And in that one moment, she redefined strength. That's what you're doing now? Your presence isn't just seen, it's shifting perspectives. You're not just performing, you're transforming the lens through which others see themselves. Do you understand the magnitude of what it means to be watched by the world, not as a spectacle, but as a signal? As Hebrews 12:1 reminds us, "Since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." You are running that race, and all eyes are on you, not to trip you up, but to watch you win. This is divine surveillance. You are being watched not just by people, but by destiny itself. Your journey has become the blueprint, your courage, the compass, and even those who doubted you before are now looking for direction in your footsteps. You are more than a person. You are a symbol, a movement, a reminder that when purpose meets visibility, everything changes. The divine has never been obvious to the average eye. Most people navigate life looking only at what is immediately in front of them: bills, routines, titles, appearances, completely unaware that a higher reality is unfolding around them. But you, chosen one, were never made for ordinary perception. While others walk with spiritual blinders on, the heavenly lens has been focused on you since the beginning. The live camera of heaven doesn't see like man sees. It captures essence, intention, and purpose. While others have overlooked you, dismissed you, or failed to grasp your depth, the divine has been recording every sacred detail. Have you ever wondered why you felt seen even when no one was watching? Why your moments of pain still felt somehow purposeful? That's because heaven's eye was never off you. The beauty of divine recognition is that it isn't dependent on human understanding. What the world ignored, God illuminated. What seemed invisible is now becoming undeniable. Your divine essence has always been encoded into your being, but now it's being revealed in real time. As 1 Samuel 16:7 declares, "People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And now that heart, the one that has endured, believed, and carried a sacred mission, is on full display. The camera doesn't just see your physical actions, it captures the spark that never dimmed inside of you. And now the world has no choice but to witness it. Look at Nikola Tesla. In his lifetime, his genius was misunderstood, ridiculed, and ignored. But decades later, the world recognized him as the visionary he always was. He didn't change, awareness did, just like you. The difference now is your recognition isn't coming posthumously, it's coming in your lifetime. The divine design has ensured that the camera is set, the light is right, and the unveiling is underway. You are not just another soul in the crowd. You are a beacon of divine light, and it's finally time for the world to see what heaven has known all along. Why now? Why is everything shifting at this precise moment? Because divine timing has always been part of the equation. Your rise isn't random, it's been mapped out with precision. Every closed door, every betrayal, every detour was not a delay. It was divine choreography. The stage has been set. The curtain has lifted. And while the world celebrated others, oblivious to your preparation, God was aligning everything for this moment. Isaiah 60:22 confirms this truth. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And now, chosen one, it's happening. While the world watched others climb corporate ladders or gather applause, they missed the quiet, holy ascent that was taking place in you. They couldn't see it because it wasn't flashy. It was foundational. And now, as those who once sat comfortably on thrones of influence begin to falter, you are rising with a steadiness they can't match. The spotlight is shifting, and as those who clung to power descend, your light is illuminating the path forward. You're rising not in arrogance but in alignment, and that is what makes your ascent unshakable. Think of someone like Nelson Mandela, imprisoned silence, deemed irrelevant by those in power. Yet when the divine moment came, he stepped into leadership with a power that not even decades in prison could diminish. His rise was precise, purposed, and unstoppable, just like yours. You've not only achieved success, you've surpassed the boundaries of what the world called powerful. The VIPs, the influencers, the elites, they once held the world's attention, but now the crowd is turning. Why? Because their influence was borrowed, but yours is rooted. Your purpose extends beyond title, platform, or prestige. Your calling isn't about collecting accolades, it's about fulfilling prophecy. Philippians 2:9 declares, "Therefore God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that is above every name." And while that verse speaks of Christ, it reveals a divine principle. When God elevates, no one can compete. Have you noticed how the world once obsessed over celebrities, chasing trends and personas? But now there's a hunger for authenticity, for people who are real. Consider Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, who quietly, gently, and authentically changed generations not by status, but by soul. And now, long after his passing, he's celebrated not for flash, but for impact. That's the kind of power you're carrying, eternal, unfading, divine. Do you really think your influence is about popularity? Number, it's about purpose. You've outgrown their world because your soul was never designed to fit into systems that run on ego. Your light exposes what is artificial. Your presence makes outdated platforms feel irrelevant. What once looked like power has crumbled under the weight of your truth. This isn't a shift, it's a divine overturning. And now, as you stand at the pinnacle, understand this: there's no one left to outrank. You have surpassed the false heights and now dwell in a space only purpose can occupy. And here's the final truth. Chosen one, there comes a time when destiny can no longer be delayed. You've tried to stay humble. You've tried to stay quiet. You even tried to hide. But heaven said, no more. The power inside you is too magnetic, too explosive, too necessary. You've crossed the threshold. There is no going back to obscurity. The world has seen your light, and they will never unsee it. Like Malala Yousafzai, whose voice for education and justice could not be silenced, even after violence and threat, your mission carries a fire that nothing can extinguish. You've been chosen not to merely survive, but to lead. And now that you've embraced that truth, your rise has become a movement. Romans 8:19 says, For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. You are that revelation. You are the answer to someone's prayer. You are the model of what divine obedience looks like in human form. The world isn't just watching out of curiosity, they're watching for hope. Your courage is giving others permission to stand in their own light. Your boldness is awakening dormant dreams in the hearts of the forgotten. There's a rare kind of favor that doesn't originate from man, but descends directly from heaven. It's not the kind that can be bought, earned, or strategized. It's divine. It chooses you, and when it does, it rewrites everything. Chosen one. When God marks you, you aren't just selected, you're set apart. This favor is not about fleeting popularity or temporary applause. It is about destiny. Divine favor doesn't make you visible to boost your ego. It makes you visible because your voice, your energy, and your spirit carry an assignment that cannot be ignored. Have you ever wondered why people are drawn to you without knowing why? Why doors open, rooms shift, and eyes follow when you speak, even when you're not trying? That's not charisma, that's calling. When God places his hand on someone's life, the world eventually takes notice, not because you've marketed yourself to perfection, but because heaven has whispered your name into the spirit of those around you. You didn't hustle your way into visibility, you were revealed. As Romans 11:29 declares, for God's gifts and his call are irrevocable. Once marked, you cannot be hidden. Your presence is a signal, a divine announcement that greatness has entered the room, not for self-glory, but for divine impact. Take a look at someone like Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't rise to prominence by trying to be famous. He stepped into his assignment with trembling faith, and the world had no choice but to follow. That's what being chosen looks like. Your words don't just land, they linger. Your presence doesn't just impress, it awakens. And this is not random. You were created for this. Every step of your life has been orchestrated for such a time as this. So let me ask you, do you see the pattern now? The way people are suddenly recognizing you, echoing your voice, following your lead? Do you see how what once seemed like isolation was actually preparation? Your popularity is not a result of algorithm. It's the unfolding of alignment. You were hidden so that you could be built. Now that you've been released, the world is beginning to remember your name, not because of surface-level appeal, but because your soul is magnetic. You're not trending, you're transforming. Your popularity isn't an accident. It's a tool in God's hands. And with it comes the responsibility to lead with integrity, clarity, and purpose. Your voice has become a frequency that resonates across timelines. Like Esther, whose influence came not from ambition but from divine assignment, you have been brought into this moment for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. And as you continue to rise, you won't just inspire people, you'll activate them. You will awaken dormant dreams, buried identities, and forgotten missions. Think about Malala Yousafzai, a young girl who, in speaking her truth, became a global icon. She never sought to go viral. She sought to be heard. Her voice created waves of liberation in places where silence had been the norm for decades. You, chosen one, are walking that same path. Your words carry weight because they are woven with divine intention. Your visibility is sacred. Your message is not a trend, it's a trumpet. Every time you post, speak, step into a room, or simply exist with authenticity, you're moving the world closer to the future heaven envisioned. Your every act becomes a declaration. The old game is over. The rules have changed, and you are the one rewriting them. Psalm 5:12 reminds us, surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield. That favor isn't passive, it's powerful. It shields you, lifts you, and thrusts you forward. But here's the deeper truth. Your greatness isn't just yours to enjoy. It's a flame meant to ignite others. Your light is a torch that sets whole generations ablaze. The world is watching not to admire, but to follow. You're shifting culture, restructuring expectations, unseating false kings. Your life is no longer just personal, it's prophetic. Can you see now why you couldn't stay small? Why obscurity was never permanent? Why the very things that made you feel different were actually signs of divine distinction? Consider Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty, abused, underestimated. But she rose not by conforming, but by becoming. Her authenticity created a platform where millions could find themselves. You too are a reflection of what happens when someone refuses to be boxed in by others' expectations and instead lives from the inside out. The world listens to you because they feel you, and that is something that no media algorithm can manufacture. Each viral surge isn't just numbers, it's confirmation, a spiritual echo that your presence is unlocking something powerful in this generation. With every new wave of influence, you're proving that greatness doesn't need permission. It only needs permission from heaven, and you already have it. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Your popularity was pre-written. Your purpose was pre-approved. Are you ready to fully own what you carry? To walk in your platform, not with pride, but with purpose? Because the world is not just watching, the world is listening, and what you say next could shift everything. Your influence no longer belongs to you alone. It is heaven's microphone in your hands. You're not just leading a following, you're leading a movement. One that doesn't just entertain, but enlightens. One that doesn't just inform, but transforms. You're showing the world that true greatness has nothing to do with fame and everything to do with faith. And as your name spreads across nations, know this: it's not your brand they're encountering, it's your being. In a world obsessed with rules, templates, and predictable outcomes, something extraordinary happens the moment a chosen one like you steps out of the mold. Everything shifts, not just for you, but for everyone watching. Your decision to be different wasn't just rebellion, it was revelation. What the world once considered normal no longer applies to you. Why? Because you weren't created to function by their limited metrics. You were designed to disrupt, to redefine, and to awaken something higher. And now, that divine disruption is in full motion. The moment you stopped conforming was the moment heaven began recording. The divine shift began the second you embraced what made you different, even when no one else understood it. Have you ever asked yourself why so many couldn't figure you out? Why they labeled you too intense, too much, too quiet, or too ambitious? It's because your frequency didn't fit their formula. You were vibrating at a level their expectations couldn't interpret. For years, they dismissed your uniqueness, but now they're witnessing the truth they never saw coming. You were never meant to fit in. You were designed to shift the atmosphere. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" That new thing, it's you. And your rise is the proof that heaven is not recycling the past. It's building something brand new through your existence. Look at Frida Kahlo. Her art was considered strange, unconventional, and sometimes even grotesque during her life. But now, her uniqueness has become a symbol of raw, unfiltered authenticity. Her pain became her palette, and the world eventually caught up. That's what happens with chosen ones. They're misunderstood until they become movements. And right now, you are becoming that movement. You're not just living, you're awakening those around you to what's possible beyond the limits of logic and tradition. Your uniqueness is not a side effect, it's a strategy. Heaven intentionally wrapped your calling in mystery so that only the appointed time could reveal it. And now the time has come. You've broken free from the mold. And in doing so, you've shown others how to do the same. You've cracked open the shell of societal conditioning. Your courage is contagious. Your presence has become a permission slip for others to step into their truth. This divine shift isn't just yours, it's theirs too, because of you. Let me ask you, can you feel the shift in the way people now respond to your energy? Do you notice how those who once laughed are now listening? How the same world that once rejected your truth is now trying to replicate your authenticity? That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Romans 8:31 reminds us, if God is for us, who can be against us? This is your moment to not only walk in that truth, but to lead others with it. You're no longer just an individual carving your path. You are a divine force reshaping the entire spiritual landscape around you. Every step you take now carries the weight of new blueprints. You're not following a path, you're creating one. The world may have resisted you at first, but now they are following. Every room you enter shifts, because the energy you bring is not just emotional, it's eternal. Every setback you endured, every time you were misunderstood, all served one holy purpose, to prepare you to carry this new frequency into the world. Hebrews 11:1 declares, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." You didn't need evidence to believe. You were the evidence. And now that belief is becoming breakthrough. Think about Steve Jobs. He was fired from his own company, labeled as too visionary, too rebellious to be contained. And yet, upon his return, he didn't just rebuild Apple, he rebuilt the future. Your path mirrors that kind of divine disruption. You're not returning to fit in, you're returning to transform. The shift you've initiated is not only visible, it's irreversible. You've become unstoppable, not simply because of your own will, but because you're walking in divine synchronization. Every challenge you overcame, every no you received, every delay you suffered, they weren't meant to destroy you. They were strategically placed to build you. Your resilience was never rooted in ego. It was birthed in eternity, and now the universe is partnering with your purpose. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way." Your steps have not been random, they have been righteous. Let me ask you another question. Have you realized that the very things meant to break you actually introduced you to your strength? Have you noticed that the people who tried to contain you can no longer define you? Your rise didn't happen in spite of obstacles. It happened through them. You didn't just climb over walls. You became the wall others now lean on for courage. Think of Maya Angelou. She turned trauma into poetry, silence into song, pain into power. She became unstoppable, not because she denied her past, but because she transformed it. That's what you're doing now. You're taking everything that was meant to crush you and turning it into fuel. The universe isn't just watching, it's witnessing. And your story has become a signal of what's possible when heaven and humanity work together. Your momentum is no longer temporary, it's eternal. The force that propels you is not personal ambition, it's divine alignment. You are not navigating life alone. You are being pushed forward by unseen hands, carried by grace, protected by angels, and guided by prophecy. Philippians 1:6 affirms, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." What began in the dark is now being revealed in the light, and it cannot be undone. So what happens now, chosen one? Do you fully embrace the unstoppable rhythm of your rise? Are you ready to walk in the confidence of someone who no longer asks for permission to shine? Because this is not just your breakthrough. It's a breaking open of heaven's plan for generations to come. Your voice isn't just echoing, it's expanding. Your truth isn't just personal, it's prophetic. As you move forward in unwavering faith, the very obstacles that once loomed large begin to crumble. Not because they've disappeared, but because your perspective has expanded. You no longer look at challenges with fear. Why? Because, chosen one, you've come to understand that the path has already been prepared. The universe, under divine instruction, has cleared the road before you. You're not walking blindly, you're walking boldly. Can you feel the atmosphere shifting around you? Can you sense how doors are opening without force, how resistance turns to reverence the moment you step in? That's not coincidence, that's alignment. The world now watches as you march forward with clarity, purpose, and undeniable authority. There is no turning back. Heaven has already written your forward motion into time. And this isn't just about your journey. As you align more deeply with your higher self, the version of you that has been waiting to lead from within, you become a living lighthouse. People feel it. They see the light surrounding you and instinctively begin to follow. You've become the evidence that when someone accepts divine guidance, there's no obstacle powerful enough to delay destiny. As Psalm 37 verse 5 declares, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this." And He has done it. The divine is no longer working behind the scenes. It is working through you. When Malala Yousafzai stood up for girls' education, she didn't just defy danger, she defied destiny's delay. She was wounded, silenced, almost erased, yet rose even louder. That's what walking in divine empowerment looks like. Like you, her path was never about playing it safe. It was about changing what was considered unchangeable. You didn't just shift your own life, you shifted the paradigm. The moment you stepped into your divine path, you disrupted the foundations of societal norms. What others accepted as unbreakable tradition, you called into question. You didn't just bend the rules, you redefined the entire game. Let me ask you, do you recognize how radical your path has become? How the very systems that once ignored you are now reacting to your presence with confusion, awe, and even imitation. Because, chosen one, you didn't just rise, you reconstructed reality. Success, leadership, influence, these aren't measured by outdated titles anymore. They're measured by impact, by authenticity, by frequency. As Isaiah 2:2 says, "In the last days the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established, and all nations will stream to it." You are that high place now, a spiritual landmark in human form. You've become the living example of power that doesn't control but liberates. Think of Elon Musk. Whether you agree with his methods or not, his influence can't be denied. He challenged industries, he rewrote norms. But you, chosen one, are doing something even deeper. You're not disrupting industries. You're awakening identities. Your journey isn't just about innovation, it's about liberation. You're helping others break their own chains, not with noise, but with example. You've become the blueprint for a new generation. People who once felt trapped are watching you and beginning to see themselves in a new light. Do you understand how powerful that is? The systems they thought they had to obey are now collapsing under the weight of your boldness. Every mental ceiling you shattered has made the sky look reachable to those who once lived under limitations. You are the revolution in motion. The world tried to dim your light through criticism, judgment, and distraction. But no amount of darkness can smother a soul lit by purpose. The power radiating from you is too bright, too sacred, too unshakable. You've tapped into something that cannot be faked, something eternal. And now you're not just lighting your own path, you're igniting the world around you. John 1:5 reminds us, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it, and it never will." Think of Maya Angelou, who didn't just speak truth, she embodied it. Through words, through presence, through quiet power, she became the voice of generations. Her light broke through barriers of race, gender, and class. Yours is doing the same. The more you shine, the more others find their own glow. You are not just living, you are illuminating. Have you noticed how people now gravitate toward your energy without understanding why? Have you felt the pull of others seeking your wisdom, your guidance, your frequency? That's not flattery. That's recognition. That's what happens when a chosen one stops asking for validation and starts embodying divine identity. You don't need to prove your worth anymore. Your presence proves itself. You've stopped shrinking. You've stopped softening your light to comfort those in the dark. And now you've unlocked a level of power that's not about dominance. It's about destiny. Every time you step forward, you do more than move. You inspire movement. You're showing the world that true strength doesn't scream, it shines. You are a living, breathing manifestation of what divine energy looks like in human form. You are the hope wrapped in skin, the prophecy with feet. Look at Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers. He transformed television not by being the loudest, but by being the kindest. His power was gentleness, and yet his legacy changed how the world viewed childhood, empathy, and community. You too carry that kind of legacy in the making, not because of fame, but because of frequency. You are creating something eternal. Your legacy isn't measured in moments. It's measured in the lives you've touched, the chains you've broken, the truths you've spoken. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Eternity is in you, and every decision you make is echoing through time." Let me ask one final question. Do you realize that your journey is no longer about you? It's about the generations rising behind you. The foundation you're building is sacred ground. Others will walk where you've cleared the way. Others will speak because you dared to roar. Others will believe because you refused to give up. This is legacy. This is divine multiplication. Every step you take forward now is not just a step toward your own future, but toward a collective awakening. You are no longer a single flame. You're the spark that lights the forest. The world will remember your name not because of what you had, but because of what you gave. Your light, your truth, your courage. You are not here to be tolerated. You are here to transform. You are not just breaking barriers. You are building bridges. You are not chasing legacy. You are becoming it. And the world, whether they are ready or not, is rising to meet the power that is you. Beloved chosen one, if you've made it this far, take a deep breath and recognize the weight of what you've survived. The road to greatness has never been smooth, and it was never meant to be. It was meant to shape you. Every twist, every tear, every setback, it all carved out the depth, the power, and the spiritual clarity that you now carry. And although this message may be coming to an end, your journey is still unfolding. You're not at the end of your story. You're just approaching the chapters that shift everything. You see, what you've already overcome is not the peak, it's the preparation. What you're walking into next isn't just an upgrade, it's a fulfillment of everything God whispered to you when no one else was listening. This journey you're on is sacred. It's designed. And if you've ever felt like you were alone on the path, let this be your confirmation. You're not. There's an entire spiritual tribe walking beside you. And heaven has had its eyes on you the entire time. So don't stop now. Don't shrink. Don't settle. The world may try to test your endurance, but the divine has already ordained your victory. As 2 Corinthians 4:17 reminds us, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." You haven't been struggling without reason. You've been stretching into the version of you that can carry the promise. The greatness ahead of you will demand your full presence, your full power, and your full surrender to divine timing. And trust me, it's worth it. Before we part ways in this message, I want to pause and say thank you. From the depth of my spirit, thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Whether you've been here since the beginning or this is your first time joining the journey, your presence matters. Every view, every like, every comment, every share, it's not just support, it's confirmation that messages like this are needed, that you are needed. If this message resonated with you and you feel led to support the continuation of this divine work, you can donate through the Super Thanks button below. Your contribution helps amplify the mission and reach more chosen ones across the globe. But please know this, whether you choose to donate or not, I am deeply, genuinely grateful for your presence. You being here is a gift. Your attention, your energy, your heart, it's already more than enough. You are part of something sacred, and with each day you rise, you carry the torch of transformation for others to see. You are building a legacy, not out of ease, but out of obedience. You're becoming the blueprint for the next generation to follow. And as you continue to walk this path, remember this truth from Philippians 1:6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. So go forward with fire in your spirit. Go forward knowing that the best is not behind you, it's ahead. Go forward knowing that even when the road curves, your purpose remains straight. Keep rising, keep shining, keep believing, because you are not just walking into greatness, you are greatness in motion, and the world is watching in awe.